This 26 Sports and CCTV high school basketball presentation is presented by Cadillac Casting Incorporated.
And welcome back to Cadillac High School. Jay Simon alongside Ryan Hiller. Heather Stilson in charge of this whole operation in the truck. The hardest working crew in television bringing you these images. My News 26 and CCTV's presentation of boys non-conference basketball action. The Cadillac Vikings and the Mount Pleasant Oilers. Vikings with the lead, 29-28 here at halftime. And Ryan, it looked for a little while there like the basket at the north end of the gym was essentially an ocean that the Vikings were throwing a ball in from a canoe. They just couldn't miss.
They looked real good in the first quarter, and the Oilers were a step or two slow, weren't ready, and the Vikings were very good with their fundamentals to start the game and passed the ball real well, moved the ball, got sides of the floor, made the defense work, and got a lot of open opportunities.
Should mention, we didn't mention it in the pregame, but these two teams have two common opponents. Both of them played Essexville Garber. Oilers just played Garber, their last game, and beat them 74-71. The Vikings beat them earlier in the year 56-48. And then Mount Pleasant beat Bay City Western twice, and the Vikings just beat Western by 17 earlier this week.
You know what I noticed with those scores, though, Jay, is that the scores with the Vikings play are about 20 points less. And I think the defense that the Vikings play and defensive intensity that Coach Benzenberg has kept from the days of Coach Jeff McDonald continues to be a force in the Cadillac Viking program. And it's real hard when teams make it difficult to score and hold it down. It's hard to win sometimes.
The Oilers have only failed to cross the 50-point threshold twice, both in losses to Davison and Flint Carmen Ainsworth.
Okay.
So
yeah.
It's a good observation. Meanwhile, the Vikings have only exceeded 60 points 3 times.
Correct.
So
that speaks to that point for sure. And that's the game that the Vikings play. They're going to hit their open shots, and that's how they beat teams. They play defense, and it's always been that way around here in Cadillac, both boys and girls. And I see the game today at halftime, 29-28. With the Vikings up, I think it kind of favors them in a way.
So both teams, I think, are pretty much mirror images of each other defensively. They work hard to stay in front of. Neither of them has a rim protector of any sort. They rely on their feet and staying in front, jumping passing lanes to try and create turnovers or on-ball defense. Offensively, though, they've been very different tonight. Vikings have hit 5 3-pointers and obviously love to drive and dish. Meanwhile, the Oilers haven't hit a 3 yet. Not that they haven't taken, but they've missed several. But they have been finishing at the rim. A lot of blow-bys and a lot of finishes at the rim and on the interior from Huneman, who has 8 points to lead his team in scoring.
That's correct. That's right, Jay. I think that's a good point to bring up here. At halftime, it's something I think Coach Benzenberg will address. The points that the Mount Pleasant Oilers have gotten have been interior points. They've been second chance shots. They've been they are scrappy, as I said earlier, but I think Coach Benzenberg will talk about keeping them off of second and third chance shots, because that's really how they've been able to get back into the game.
Run down the scoring for you. Keegan Brooks leads all scorers and the Vikings with 10 points. He had them all in the first quarter, pretty much all within about a 5-minute span, it felt like.
Yeah.
Cooper Benson has 8 points. I should point out Brooks has a pair of triples. Benson has 1. He's got 8 points. And then Vinny Genema and Aiden Raphael have both hit threes. Tip Baker has a 3-point play. They all have 3 points apiece. And then Maddox Hoagland with a bucket to round out the scoring for Cadillac, who is 2 for 3 from the line. For the Oilers, as I mentioned, Tyler Huneman has 8 points. Mason Watusik woke up there in the second quarter with 6. He's got 8 points as well. Peyton Fountain had 3 layups going to the rim. He's got 6. Jackson Ostrowski with 4 and Joseph Ostrowski with 2 to round out the scoring for the Oilers, who are 4 of 7 from the free throw line. Both teams back out warming up here at halftime. Again, want to thank Cadillac Casting Incorporated, our presenting sponsor, as well as Napa Auto Parts, Pizza Plus, and Cadillac Tire for their support of these broadcasts here on My News 26 and CCTV. And the hardest working crew in television, Heather Stilson running the show from the truck, Gabby Long providing the graphics, and Wyatt Van Dynen, Brandon Fry, and Katie McClung bringing you these high-definition images. As Ryan showing me on his phone here, Jordan Poole, that's the University of Michigan freshman who's got the sort of high and tight haircut and the short shorts. And that's kind of who, well, really both Peyton Fountain and Mason Watusick have that look. Fountain's got the blonde do going, but
we were trying to
both
point that
look
out.
like him. Yeah.
And Jordan Poole definitely a good player for University of Michigan. U of M winning today in the Big Ten tournament, 77-71 in overtime over the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Woo.
So
what are they seeded?
There's a 5 seed for Michigan and 12 seed for Iowa. Yeah.
Are you just a U of M fan, or did you go there?
No, I didn't go there. I wasn't that smart, Jay.
I don't know. Could have been.
I know. The exterior fools you. Thank you for that compliment.
You're welcome. Well, you were smart enough to marry Mrs. Biller. So,
this is true.
Trying to give you some credit.
Age helps with that intelligence level.
29-28 our score here at halftime. 2 quarters in the books, 2 quarters remaining in the regular season for both of these teams. Which one of them is going to close it out with a win? Well, only one way to find out. Third quarter action coming up here on My News 26 and CCTV. We'll be back right after this.